When you start the round, normally you'll want to throw an incendiary at the short pipe to prevent the tees from rushing. That's because without it, with the best spawns, tees can make it past the short pipe before you can hold it. So this incendiary denies the tees this slight edge even if you throw it with the worst spawn. And you can actually get to the short pipe before the flames expire, allowing you to peek tees who are waiting behind it. But the tees don't have to wait, they can extinguish the flames and push past it. They can also throw a Molotov just in front of the short sandbags to prevent you from pushing in the first place. Although you could smoke it, often it's more ideal to save the smoke for later and not go for short water control. Instead, you can jump spot over this wall to see if the tees are actually taking it. Just keep in mind that this wood panel is actually spammable, which is why you'll often want to avoid it as much as possible in your jump. Another important piece of utility is the AG for the connector door. With the door blown open, you can jump spot anyone who creeps towards the connector stairs. Since you're only seeing their legs, they won't be able to see you at all. Instead of jump spotting, you can also get a teammate to boost you in order to spot the short pipe and connector at the same time. You can also use the wooden panel to spam tees walking up connector. You can do about 15 to 20 damage for each hit to the chest, but make sure you're not shooting through the attached signs because the damage you do gets much lower, about 4 to 6 for each hit. To hold short from the site, you'll often want to hold it from this headshot angle at the slope. It's a strong position, but the tees often expect it. So another way to hold it is from a slightly more passive angle that forces tees to walk deeper in the site where they're exposed to more positions. You can also hold from the top of the railing just behind the sandbag on site. The idea behind this spot is when the tees take a wider angle to check the toxic barrels, they'll be exposed to you. When the tees are swarming the site, you can use this smoke to funnel them to the right side of the pillar. This allows you to peek towards the site and short without being directly exposed to a tee coming from monster. If short's smoked, just keep in mind it's possible for tees to see over it if they boost on the sandbag. If a Molotov pushes you off, you can move towards the pit and hold the cross to the site instead. From here, you can actually see the shadow of a tee before they come out, which gives you a slight advantage. Another position you can play from is behind the pillar. Although tees can see you if they boost on the railing at short, the main advantage from playing behind the pillar is the ability to dodge flashes. With the pillar being fairly wide and tall, the closer you play to the pillar, the harder it is to flash you. And it's also a spot where you can react quickly to help your teammate hold monster if needed. You can also shift to the wood wall if your teammate holds from the other side of monster. This allows you to play off an additional teammate at graffiti who can spot short, putting you in a position to fight both choke points. Being the short player also means getting a teammate to go for various boosts to catch tees. A boost on the bridge allows you to catch tees walking up connector. This is what it looks like from the tee's point of view. Since there's wood in front of this boost, you could get spammed as you're dropping off. Each shot to the body does about 10 to 12 damage. There's another boost you can use on top of default to spot the door. This is what it looks like from the tee's point of view. Unlike the other boost, your teammate can stay crouched for you to see, and as well the person on the bottom can hold short. If a tee's behind sandbags, they'll have to go further out to see the boost. There'll be situations where aggressing short is necessary to get information. One way to do this is with a flash from a teammate. This flash is thrown from the slope of pit and pops just over the wall. It blinds anyone standing in the short area that's looking at the entrance. But it can also blind someone holding from the cubby who's not fully looking, and even someone who's holding from the inside a connector. Now to flush out a tee from the cubby in the corner, this incendiary spreads on both the top and bottom, allowing you to clear the entire right side of short. If you fully clear short but still want to maintain an aggressive angle, you can hold this spot just next to the sandbags. Although there's multiple elevations to deal with, you have a slight shadow advantage. In this particular area, the further the tee peeks away from you, the more their shadow expands. Keep in mind if you hold too far back, you'll miss out on the possible shadows up close. If you're forced to fall back, you can always throw in a jump spot for information. In general, just doing jump spots at various points in the round helps you understand what the tees might be doing. Let's talk about actually pushing short at the start of the round. If the tees don't contest the short pipe, you also need to watch out for connector. If they rush, they can be there at about 141 with the best spawn. If the tees throw the short Molotov, you can extinguish it with the smoke. But if the tee also extinguishes, be prepared to fight as soon as you turn the corner. Since you and the tee are close enough to hear each other, sometimes you may want to walk so they won't know if you're actually pushing down. For reference, this is what the tee can hear from the right side of monster. Once you're actually in short, you can position yourself on top of the railing just in front of the short pipe. Standing here allows you to spot the tee's legs as they come out. They won't be able to see you until they reach the halfway point of the pipe. If you don't HE the door, playing this spot puts you in a position where the sound of the door opening can tell you if a tee is coming from connector. However, tees can use this sound against you so that you look at the door while a player comes from the short pipe. A variation of the spot is actually off the railing and crouched on the ledge directly. From the tee's point of view, they actually can't shoot at your head if you sit here, even if they stand all the way back. It's only if they crouch that they can. That said, you can't see their head either, but you have the element of surprise. Here's some tricks to help you. One way to truly bypass the tee short Molotov is to do a run boost. Since there's a slight dip in the ground, you can easily jump onto your teammate's head. As the short player, you'll often want to re-smoke monster for your teammate. Here's one of many possible lineups. If your teammates at A need help, you can throw flashes over the bushes of mid to blind the tees. Here's how you can get one of the most complete views of short water with the boost. The booster needs to go behind the corner pillar so that when you jump to let them stand, you can't be seen. Once you're at the height, you can peek over the wall and even see someone at short if their back is against the wall. If you really want to catch a tee running up short, you can assemble a 3-person boost to spot the entire pathway to the short sandbags. The key here is to make sure you face forward as a third person, because you'll automatically slide in the direction you're looking. And if you have short control, this boost allows you to look through the connector window and check for tees going up or down the stairs. That's gonna be it. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably like this one too.